Ganesh, thank you so much for agreeing to meet with me today and to share your success story with my viewers.
Sure, yeah.
How is the process to go from the idea of iCent to launching iCent to the public? To you having the idea and you attending the CAPSI conference where we met, for example.
Sure, yeah. As my student journey began, I started to realize that though I had this experience of working abroad or just having come outside India as well, and then having lived somewhere for a bit, I realized that there's a lot of gaps. I expected a student journey to be a certain way. It was certainly that way, but then initial acclimatization and getting a culture to the Canadian lifestyle was a bit of a learning curve. I thought I was prepared, but I was probably not 100% right. And just the student, initial adaptation challenges in terms of understanding what a SIN card means, right? So it's a social security number in the US. Here it's called SIN, a social insurance number. Then there's how Canadian health insurance works. When my OHIP with the Ontario Health Coverage starts, how do I get a driver's license? I had about 10 years of driving experience back in India. So I was like, how do these things work? And the international office was great. At the school, they answered all these questions. But I'm like, why do I have to go back to the international office again and again? So I wish there was something that answered my questions right when I had them. So my only bet that time was to first ask my friends if they have experienced something similar. If not, then go to the international office. But if my friends if they had not experienced these things, one is they wouldn't know. Two is they are not the authorities to answer any of these questions, right? So it's like a big disclaimer there that this is my experience. See what
Yes.
fits you, right? Mm-hmm. So I used to go back to the international office. I built good friendship with the staff there. They were pretty cool, very helpful. And finally, after my graduation, I said, I'm going to build something that will help other students. So the term iCent basically stands for International Center. So it's a custom-built product for international offices. The app basically helps students with pre-departure, post-travel, and acclimatization concepts. But then it helps the international office as well automate their back office operations in terms of answering students' questions with specific information that can be delivered, maintaining communication with students or communication management, you can say, in terms of push notifications, feedback, surveys, two-way chat, a ticketing system for support and things as such. So it's pretty good. I mean, the experience that I had and the little gaps that I found, the product fit in very well into that gap, and we got started pretty well.
I think it's obvious for everybody how iCent as an app can be useful for a program, a university, college, high school with a lot of international students. Can you tell us a little bit about how it can be as useful for a much smaller program, let's say with 100 students, 75 students? How can having the iCent app can still be relevant for them?
Sure, yeah. Starting with CPO, which is a smaller school in terms of 50 international students, up until Sentinel, which has 11,000 students. The app is pretty scalable and works. It's pretty customizable. So works from depending on what features the institution chooses, it can be customized, and they pay only for what they use. So the configuration and things are pretty straightforward, and we have seen the app being very successful. We provide platform as a service. It's the institutions as well that they really see how to use it. And a few schools, the app is a mandate program. Few other schools, they're trying it out. So we see the app is pretty successful in terms of it doesn't matter with the number of students, but depends on what they use as part of the product. So push notifications, workshops where students can RSVP. So there's a lot of engagement concepts in the product that will help the school be connected with students and help them be successful, which is what the schools want ultimately. And retention, the app helps with student retention as well, because the engagement with students starts as soon as the letter of acceptance goes. So students are told about the app, they download before they arrive. We help them with the airport in Ontario, airport welcome, and it's pretty good in a way that student life cycle or student journey is covered on the app, and they see only relevant information depending on when they are using the app. So for example, a student, before he or she arrives, will see pre-departure and post-trial information. Whereas towards the graduation, they'll see things such as career center and jobs on campus and jobs that are available out of campus and companies that are coming for interviews and things as such. So yeah, customizable.
Great. Now for colleagues that are watching, who've met you at different conference, who went on the website, who are very interested in using iCent, but who are a little bit, let's say, uncomfortable or afraid of technology, they don't even use a lot of apps themselves, and they're thinking, how can I build an app for my program? What would you say to them?
Sure. So this was one of the key challenges. What we did is our strategy for launch was pretty cool, I would say. So we launched the app only for one school to start with, that is Sheridan College, and they are a pretty big school with a number of international students. So back in 2015 fall they launched, and we didn't work with anybody else then. So for 1 year we wanted to make sure that the app is working well and it is easy to use, because not everybody understands programming, not everybody wants to be a programmer. But technology tools should be easy for any student, any layman, any junior staff, for example, to get on board and start using the piece, so that it's basically a communication tool, right? So we went through multiple phases of building the initial version of the product. So in a year, probably we started from scratch on 3 different layouts or architectures, and then we scrapped them. And we wanted to build something so easy that anybody can log in. Of course, authorized users can log in and simply drag and drop and build apps. So I would say the backend interface is what is our key driving factor for the business. App is only a UI on the front end, but it's the backend that basically the institution controls, and they can build apps in 24 to 48 hours. So what we have done on the backend is it's the iCent CRM, that's what we call it. So it has pieces like information delivery, communication management, student engagement, user management, and support system, and apps can be built in 24 to 48 hours. That easy.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And what about for colleagues who love technology, who are even thinking about building their own app or hiring some developers, programmers to build something from scratch for their institution? Is this something that you would recommend?
We have built a product which they could use. It's plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be happy if they used our product. If they want to build something on their own, we encourage a few students to build their own product. Like we invest into student businesses, where somebody wants to try an app, build their own project. So we provide them funding, we provide them technology help, we provide them legal and accounting services. So yes, we do encourage, but if it's a professional product that they want to build at a school, not the students, but the school themselves with their IT team, it's pretty good too. They could certainly do that, but here in this case, it's just the return on investment.
Right.
An app like us, like iCent, is basically one product that fits the needs of international offices. For an international office to work on a particular product like this, to meet all their needs, might take a lot of project management time, iPhone developer, Android developer, backend developer, business analyst, and the whole team. It might take more than 6 months to build a product. 6 is minimal, I would say, and a lot of time and money invested, and the whole management of the program. So what we have done is we work specifically with public institutions, and we have made it very easy. So every school that we launch the app for, it's the IT team that certifies as well. And if required, we do integrate with them. If they say we'll use it as a standalone system, it's still the IT says, audits or validates the product, confirms, and then moves it forward. Yeah.
I think what's great about the app from the perspective of educators is that they get to use everything that technology has to offer without it being their main focus.
That's
their
right.
main focus can be taking care of their students.
That's right, yeah. That is why we directly deal with business users. So we do the technology piece, and the platform helps the business users at the international office or student services to drag and drop, build their interface, plan their business, and use the product for any information delivery, communication, and things as such. So it's the platform is ready for them to use. If they have a deeper interest in terms of somebody willing to go in the backend and then make certain tweaks such as HTML, somebody is willing to make program level changes in terms of how the content is displayed, we have HTML view modes as well for them. So somebody who has certain bit of programming knowledge can make use of the HTML and build their own content as well.
So if I understand correctly, the iCent app, it's great if you have a big program with a large number of international students, but it's also very flexible if you have a small program with, 100 students. And it's also great if you are not necessarily very interested in technology, but it also has the flexibility if you'd like to dig a little bit deeper and customize the app a little bit more.
That's right.
So you have the best in both worlds.
That's right, yeah. And we try, we are evolving the product continuously. I would say in 3 years we have launched 4 versions of the product. Every new version is a little better than the previous version. This is fourth generation of the product. Alongside we have several other changes that we have made, small changes which we don't account into like the generational upgrade. But every feedback that we receive from our clients, we listen to them very carefully, and everything is noted down. We have timelines for specific kind of requirements. So I would say, as an international student, when I thought of building the product, there was only 15 or 16 pain points. For example, how to get a US visa is one of my pain points, was driver's license. So I had only about 15-16 business cases, and we built the product based off that. Today, we have over 130 functional points, and all the rest of the features or functional points are coming from our clients. So whatever they asked, we built it, and we don't like to charge our clients for what they're asking for every single time, unless and until it's something very specific. So that has added to our advantage in terms of them being I would say founding members of the app as well, and I mean yourself too, right? You have a lot of feedback for us, so yeah.
Great.
It's great.
So what's next for iCent?
I think in Canada we have made some name for ourselves. iCent as a brand is recognized. We have built partnership with Canadian Bureau of International Education, CAPC, which is an association for school boards, Languages Canada, which is an association for language schools. We work with GIC programs. So in Canada, I think we are getting stabilized. Although there's so many colleges and universities, public institutions, there's a lot that we can do yet. Certainly, our goal is to be the number one choice for an international office CRM or international office student support system, which has a web, mobile technology both, and we would like to continue growing in Canada, and globally as well. We have few clients in the US, New Zealand now, and we are working on a pilot arrangement in Europe, one in Germany and another one in France. So if the next 2 years is going to be growing globally.
Great.
Yeah.
So when you came to Canada as an international student, did you envision that a couple of years later this would be your success, this would be your life?
I would say I'm on the path towards being successful. Then this journey is great because we have a global vision, and right now we have some stability in Canada, but it's going to take some time for us, and it's just good. We are a team of 20 people. We are enjoying the journey. It's very I would say hectic.
Yes.
But it's good. We are having fun, and working with these public colleges and institutions is so good because they mentor, they provide feedback, they're patient, their requirements are clear, and they are involved into the process, and they would like to vet and validate everything, and that assures our quality processes too. So, well, I mean, we are an ISO 27001 information security certified and 9001 business practices certified company as well, GDPR compliant too. But it's our it's our schools that our clients that use the product that are at the center focus, and everything they say, everything they need is what our priority is, and growing globally is our next step. So that's what we want to focus on. But this journey is great.
Thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, me too. Thanks so much.
Thank you.